Namaste, my dear friend. Today, I want to tell you a story. Two frogs in the milk. How persistence turns struggle into strength. When we are trapped in life's deepest struggles, we often ask, is it worth the effort to keep going? Let me tell you a story, an old fable, simple yet profoundly wise. There were once two frogs who fell into a pot of fresh milk. The sides were steep and slick, impossible to climb. They kicked and kicked, trying to escape, but the walls offered no grip. One frog looked around and said, "There's no hope. Why struggle?" So he gave up, and he sank. But the second frog, though tired, kept paddling. "If I stop, I die. If I keep moving, I may live." He didn't know what would happen. He didn't have a plan, but he chose to trust the process and continue. Hours passed, and slowly the milk began to change. His churning created butter. Solid ground formed beneath him, and with one final push, he leapt to safety. My dear friends, life will put you in situations where you feel trapped, emotionally, financially, spiritually. You may look around and see no way out. And like the first frog, you may hear that quiet voice saying, "There's no point." But you must remember the second frog, not because he was stronger, but because he was more patient, because he was willing to endure discomfort a little longer, because he believed in movement, not defeat. I've lived through seasons of deep silence when prayers felt unanswered and progress invisible. Yet in those quiet times, I learned the milk does not turn to butter through noise. It transforms through still persistence. This world values quick results. We are taught that if something doesn't change immediately, it never will. But the greatest transformations, the ones of the soul, are often unseen and slow. So if you're struggling today, keep paddling. If your job feels hopeless, if your relationship feels strained, if your inner voice is filled with doubt, breathe. One more kick, one more breath, one more day. And perhaps, like the frog, you will find that your persistence has created something solid under your feet. Not all problems need grand solutions. Some just need you, steadfast and faithful, willing to keep moving until the tide shifts.